Hey guys, welcome to another segment of Top Apps. Zach here, and living in the tropics has its pros and cons, but well, we're getting into monsoon seasons and we have to deal with heavy rain, and that also means it's flooding season. Now, it's a bit hard to keep track of flooding situations in Malaysia, but luckily there's an app that's been released and it's available for you guys now, and very luckily we have the developers here of Banjir Alert. So we have Mr. John and Mr. Hassan here, who have been developers of the app. So please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm John. This is from a competition from DG. We chose this idea because I was once a typhoon victim. So our place was flooded and we had this very bad experience that it came so sudden that we didn't get to pack our stuff, didn't get to prepare. But then now that we have the skills to help for these situations, we thought that what if we get notifications before the flood hit us?
So the app is actually quite a personal project for you. So, and you are?
I'm Hassan. Okay, I work with John and also Barry, one of the partners. My contribution to this app is to develop the notification and also to provide the design, UI design, and also we work actually as a team.
So basically, what's the app all about? You know, what's the big concept? What's the big idea?
Well, this app is to help people mostly. Not only notify those areas that are expected to have the flood, but also we aim to help those victims, to connect them with the donors with the help of some volunteers.
Right, so you're also incorporating some philanthropic efforts into it, so people can donate straight to where the money needs to go, right?
Yes.
So, and before we continue, I'm gonna force you guys to brag a little bit. I've heard that you've been winning some awards. I'm gonna have to ask you to explain what are these awards and why you've been winning them.
Well, basically this app came from DG Hackathon. They gave us the ideas actually. We were asked to choose from specific ideas and we chose this Banjir Alerts. In a period of 24 hours, we managed to create a prototype for this. Not only that, Telenor from Norway also chose us to join their conference.
All right, so speaking of the hackathon, you have 24 hours. So what was that like? You know, were there any stresses, any problems? Did you actually stay up the whole 24 hours?
Yeah, actually we did stay up until 24 hours.
It's a very competitive environment, so we all did our best to create a working prototype.
Who is the lead programmer on this one during that 24-hour period?
Actually, 3 of us are working together.
All three programming at the same time?
Programming, yes.
That's a tough thing to do. How do you keep your minds all in the same line? Because I know in programming, if one person's writing one thing, another person's writing another thing, you guys got to make it work.
We build our app in modules, then we combine together.
So very quickly you can get the whole thing working. So now, getting into the nitty-gritty of the app. In your own words, how would you imagine someone discovering the app and getting it installed and you're like, what's this Banjir Alerts all about? And then they start to use it. What do you think the intended user experience is like? I mean, how do you expect them to start using it and how they would use it every day in their lives?
The first thing when they launch the app, what they're going to see is a weather forecast, whereby in their current location, what actually the weather and what is the
forecast for the next 24 hours and the rest of the week. Our users may just check their app, see the forecast in their location, and in the future we plan to allow them to save locations that they want the forecast to, and then we will notify them if those locations are having some heavy rain. I think this forecast notification will be useful.
One thing I found interesting was that you had access to the CCTV sort of cameras of certain areas. Is that information publicly available? I mean, can app developers just use that? Or is it something you collaborated with the government or something like that?
Yes, it's actually available in the Public Info Banjir website. So we actually take it from there. So actually they have river cams and also there's road cams. So we apply these cams into our apps.
We were thinking it's good if our users will be able to have a view on their saved areas. They may want to look at the snapshot of that particular place at that time, so they will know if they want to avoid the place or not. Suddenly they get a notification from our app that this place is expecting heavy rain in, let's say, 2 hours. So they might want to avoid that route and find a detour.
I actually find that part really interesting because I didn't even know that information was available until I saw your app. So it's great that you're able to get all this information all into one spot. Now, the last part of the app I want to talk about is the donating feature. So how does that actually work?
The donating feature, we actually implement Twitter feedback. So basically, if someone wants to donate, they can use our predefined hashtag, which is Banjir Donates. Then they will actually add on information about who are they and what's their contact and what kind of donation they want to provide. And then for the victims, they can actually read through the tweets feeds and contact those people who actually provide the donations.
So you're working closely with those volunteers and collaborating with them to make sure that the right resources go to the right places.
The right people.
Right,
Yes.
right. Because I have heard lots of cases where people start donating all kinds of things
And you
that's
don't
not
know
actually
where,
needed,
yeah,
and you don't know where it's
you
going.
cannot track where it is.
Right, right. So
Yeah.
that sounds fantastic. So currently the app is available on iOS and Android.
Yeah.
Are there any plans of bringing it to other platforms, or you plan to stick on improving the app as is for now?
Because our development, we are using cross platforms. So it's actually possible to port it to a different platform such as BlackBerry or any Nokia phones, Windows phones. So it's possible for us to do that.
But at the moment, yeah, we plan on improving the app first before we go to different platforms.
Yeah, you got to check the analytics on who's using what, actually.
Yeah.
Because I just asked that because I used to use a Windows phone, and I know it's difficult developing apps for that. All right, so overall the app sounds absolutely fantastic, and it seems like it's got a long ways to go and way more improvements to be added in, and you're going to be working on it and improving it over time, adding in more collaborations. I'd like to say congratulations on all those awards and overseas trips you're going on. Sounds wonderful. So that concludes our interview with the wonderful developers from Banjir Alert, and I'd like to thank our host, the Dell Coffee and Tea at PJ Center Stage. It's a wonderful location. They got lots of coffee, cakes, and tea right over there, so do check it out. All right, and that's a wrap from us.